Sean Combs, known globally as Diddy, built his name on dominance, vision, and control. For decades, he was not just another music executive. He was the architect behind movements, the energy behind eras, the businessman who understood that hip-hop was not only culture, but currency. He helped shape the rise of bad boy records. He stood beside legends. He celebrated luxury, success, power, influence. He positioned himself as more than an artist. He became a symbol of elevation in the industry. When people talked about moguls, his name entered the room immediately because his brand represented ambition at the highest level. Private jets, award shows, global partnerships, billion-dollar conversations. Everything around him felt expansive, calculated, larger than life. He mastered reinvention, changing names, shifting styles, adapting to trends without appearing desperate. He moved like someone who understood that relevance requires evolution. For years, the narrative felt solid, almost untouchable. Then something shifted. The tone of headlines changed. The conversation around his name transformed. Social media amplified every rumor, every clip, every past moment. And in the digital age, amplification spreads faster than clarification. Perception began moving at a speed that even powerful figures struggle to control. The same platforms that once celebrated achievements now dissected history. Audiences revisited interviews, old footage resurfaced, discussions intensified. Supporters urged patience, critics demanded accountability. Observers analyzed every development carefully. What makes this moment significant is not only the headlines themselves, but the shift in authority. For decades, Diddy appeared to control rooms, deals, directions. But when narrative momentum shifts outward, influence over perception weakens. And in modern entertainment, perception often equals power. Brands become cautious, partnerships reassess, media framing sharpens, allies grow quieter. Silence intensifies. Silence from powerful networks can sometimes signal more than statements. The industry operates on confidence, and when confidence shakes even slightly, ripple effects follow. This situation highlights how fragile reputation can be, regardless of past accomplishments. Legacy in today's media climate is not static. It is constantly renegotiated. Audiences apply new standards to old eras. Cultural expectations evolve rapidly. Transparency, accountability, authenticity carry greater weight than ever before. Figures who once navigated controversy behind closed doors now face instant global reaction cycles, and those cycles do not pause. The speed alone changes everything. Decades of dominance can feel overshadowed by months of uncertainty. That does not erase achievements, but it reframes how they are remembered. That is the tension surrounding Diddy at this stage. The man who once symbolized control now exists within a narrative he does not fully command. And that shift feels dramatic because it contrasts sharply with his long-cultivated image as a strategist, a visionary, a mogul who always moved several steps ahead. Yet modern crises operate differently. They are unpredictable, fueled by viral attention, sustained by speculation, shaped by constant commentary. Rebuilding within that environment requires more than influence. It requires credibility, clarity, and patience. History shows that powerful figures can recover when transparency meets strategy, when communication aligns with accountability, when long-term positioning replaces short-term reaction. But history also shows that silence without direction allows perception to harden, and perception, once solidified, becomes difficult to reshape. The coming chapters matter because they determine how future generations remember this era. Will it become a temporary disruption in a long career, or a defining pivot that alters the entire legacy? That outcome depends on legal clarity, public trust, business resilience, and narrative management. The entertainment world watches closely because moments like this extend beyond one individual. They signal how power functions today. Influence is no longer insulated by status, money, or past impact.
It is constantly evaluated by a global audience that reacts in real time. Diddy once embodied expansion, luxury, and executive dominance. Now he stands at a crossroads where resilience is tested under a brighter spotlight than ever before, and that spotlight does not dim easily. In an era where digital memory is permanent, every chapter leaves an imprint. The larger lesson unfolding is about the volatility of modern fame, how quickly perception can tilt, how rapidly alliances can shift, how fragile the balance between admiration and scrutiny has become. For decades, Diddy thrived by understanding culture before culture understood itself. Now, culture is evaluating him with unprecedented intensity, and the response to that evaluation will determine whether his story continues as reinvention, redemption, resilience, or recalibration. What remains undeniable is his historical impact on music, business, and branding. Yet legacy is not secured solely by history. It is shaped by how final chapters are written. We are not witnessing a conclusion, but a pivotal transition, a moment where narrative power faces external pressure, and where strategic silence or decisive transparency could shape everything that follows. In today's landscape, control of story often outweighs control of resources, and once story momentum escapes, even the most experienced moguls must adapt carefully, because dominance in one era does not guarantee insulation in the next, and the difference between survival and decline often rests on how effectively perception is rebuilt under scrutiny.